You have been lying to yourself for years. Every morning you wake up, look in the mirror, and tell yourself that tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow you will finally take control. Tomorrow you will stop settling for mediocrity. But deep down, you know the truth. You are tired of being a prisoner to circumstances beyond your control, tired of watching others live the life you secretly dream of while you remain trapped in patterns that keep you exactly where you are. I see you nodding because you recognize this truth. You have accepted limitations that were never yours to accept. You have allowed your mind to become a breeding ground for doubt, fear, and excuses. But what if I told you that everything you have been taught about success, about prosperity, about the power of your own mind has been incomplete? Tonight, you are going to discover the master key that unlocks every door to prosperity. Not just financial wealth, though that will come. I am talking about complete transformation. Health that radiates from within. Peace of mind that cannot be shaken. Love for your work that makes every day feel like a calling. This is not about changing what you do. This is about changing who you are. For over 2 decades, I have studied the minds of the most successful individuals who ever walked this earth. Andrew Carnegie himself chose me to unlock the secret that separates those who dream from those who achieve. What I discovered will shatter every excuse you have ever made about why you cannot have the life you desire. The mind you were given is the greatest gift bestowed upon any human being. It is your divine right to control and direct this mind toward any purpose you choose. Whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can and must achieve. This is not motivation. This is law. But here is what separates this moment from every other time you have tried to change. I am not going to give you techniques. I am going to give you transformation. I am going to show you how to become the person who naturally attracts everything you have been struggling to obtain. The principles I am about to share have created fortunes, built empires, and transformed ordinary individuals into extraordinary forces of nature. Henry Ford used these principles to revolutionize industry. Countless others have used them to rise from poverty to abundance, from despair to fulfillment. This is your moment. Your old self ends here. Your new life begins now. If you are ready to stop making excuses and start making history, then subscribe to this channel, because what happens next will change everything you thought you knew about success, prosperity, and the unlimited power of your own mind. Number 1, the power of the human mind. You wake up every morning carrying the most powerful force in the universe, yet you treat it like a broken radio that only plays static. Your mind, this magnificent gift, has been broadcasting doubt, fear, and limitation for so long that you have forgotten its true frequency. You have accepted that success belongs to others, that greatness is reserved for the lucky few, that your circumstances define your destiny. But this is the cruelest lie you have ever been told. Every thought you think is not just a fleeting moment of consciousness, it is raw material being forged into the reality you will live tomorrow. Your mind is not merely an observer of life. It is the architect, the builder, the magnetic force that draws to you exactly what you think about most. This is not philosophy. This is the fundamental law of human existence. Imagine your mind as a powerful broadcasting station sending out signals 24 hours a day into the universe. Every thought, every belief, every dominant mental picture you hold becomes a signal that magnetizes circumstances, people, and opportunities that match its frequency. When you think poverty, you broadcast poverty. When you think limitation, you attract limitation. But when you think abundance, when you truly believe in your power to achieve, you become a magnet for everything you desire. Thomas Edison understood this truth when the world saw only an uneducated man with 3 months of formal schooling. While others focused on what he lacked, Edison focused on what he could conceive. He saw light bulbs before they existed. He heard recorded sound before anyone believed it possible. He held over 1,000 patents, not because he was born gifted, but because he understood that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. His formal education ended in a schoolroom, but his real education began in his mind. Edison failed over 10,000 times before creating the incandescent light bulb, but he never saw failure. He saw 10,000 ways that would not work, bringing him closer to the one way that would. This is the power of a mind that refuses to accept defeat, a mind that converts every setback into setup, every obstacle into opportunity. Here is the turning point that will change everything for you. Your past does not equal your future. Your current circumstances are not your permanent address. They are simply the result of past thinking patterns that you can change right now, in this very moment. The same mind that created your current reality has the power to create an entirely new one. Starting today, you must become the gatekeeper of your own thoughts. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you read the news, before you allow the world to program your mind, spend 15 minutes filling it with exactly what you want to see manifest in your life. See yourself already living your ideal life. Feel the emotions of having achieved your greatest dreams. Make this mental picture so vivid, so real, that your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what you are imagining and what you are experiencing. Your mind does not know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you consistently feed it images of success, abundance, and achievement, it begins to align every cell in your body, every action you take, every word you speak toward making that mental picture your physical reality. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are not limited by your past. You are not defined by your current situation. You are the master of your mind, and your mind is the master of your destiny. The only question that remains is this: what reality will you choose to create today? Number 2, Carnegie's 2 envelopes. Every single day, you stand at a crossroads that will determine not just your immediate future, but the entire trajectory of your existence. Yet you walk past this crossroads unconsciously, unaware that each choice, each thought, each moment of surrender or resistance is opening one of 2 sealed envelopes that were placed in your hands the moment you were born. Andrew Carnegie shared with me a truth so profound that it changed everything I understood about human potential. He said that every person comes into this world carrying 2 invisible envelopes. One contains the magnificent rewards that await those who learn to master their own minds. The other holds the bitter consequences reserved for those who allow their minds to run wild, untrained, uncontrolled, like a garden overrun with weeds. You cannot avoid opening one of these envelopes. Every day you live, every choice you make, every thought you allow to dominate your consciousness is casting your vote. The question is not whether you will experience the contents of one envelope or the other. The question is which one you will consciously choose. Picture yourself holding these 2 envelopes in your hands right now. Feel their weight. Understand that your entire future, everything you will become, everything you will possess, everyone you will love, every moment of joy or sorrow that awaits you, is contained within one of these sealed packets. The first envelope, the one reserved for those who master their minds, contains treasures beyond anything you have ever imagined. Open it and you will find sound health that radiates from deep within, not the artificial energy that comes from stimulants or temporary fixes, but the vitality that springs from a mind at peace with itself. You will discover peace of mind so profound that external circumstances cannot disturb your inner tranquility. Anxiety becomes impossible when you control the theater of your own thoughts. Inside this envelope waits freedom from fear, that invisible prison that has kept you smaller than you were meant to be. The fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of what others think, the fear of not being enough, all dissolve when you understand that you are the author of your own experience. You will find a positive mental attitude that becomes as natural as breathing, drawing to you people and opportunities that match your elevated consciousness. There is love for your work so deep that you will never again count the hours or wish for Friday. Your work becomes an expression of your highest self, a contribution to the world that fills you with purpose and meaning. And yes, material wealth flows naturally to the person who has learned to think correctly, not as an end in itself, but as a byproduct of value created and service rendered. But the second envelope contains a different destiny entirely. Those who refuse to discipline their minds, who allow negative thoughts to run rampant, who blame circumstances and other people for their condition, will find themselves face to face with the contents of the penalty envelope. Here lies poor health that stems not from accidents or genetics, but from a mind poisoned by worry, resentment, and fear. The body simply cannot maintain vitality when the mind is constantly broadcasting messages of defeat. You will find worry that eats away at your peace like acid, stealing your sleep, your joy, your ability to appreciate the beauty that surrounds you every day. Frustration becomes your constant companion when you refuse to take responsibility for your thoughts and emotions. You become a victim of every circumstance, every person, every external condition, powerless to change anything because you have surrendered the one thing you can control, your own mind. Poverty, not just of money but of spirit, of hope, of possibility, settles over your life like a heavy blanket. You find yourself surrounded by negative emotions, envy of others' success, hatred for those who have what you want, resentment toward life itself for not giving you what you believe you deserve. The tragedy is not that this envelope exists. The tragedy is that most people open it unconsciously, never realizing they had a choice. But you do have a choice. Right now, in this moment, you can decide which envelope you will open. You can begin the process of mastering your mind, of taking conscious control over the thoughts that have been controlling you. You can start feeding your consciousness with exactly what you want to see manifest in your life. The envelopes are in your hands. The choice is yours. Which one will you open today? Number 3, definite chief aim. You have been drifting through life like a ship without a compass, wondering why you never arrive at the destination of your dreams. You set goals that evaporate like morning mist the moment resistance appears. You make resolutions that crumble under the weight of daily distractions. You tell yourself you want success, but success remains as elusive as smoke because you have never truly defined what success means to you. The greatest tragedy of human existence is not failure. It is aimlessness. It is the slow death that comes from living without a definite chief aim, without a burning desire that consumes every fiber of your being and pulls you forward with irresistible force. You have allowed yourself to become a reactor to life instead of the creator of it. Most people spend more time planning a vacation than they do planning their lives. They research restaurants, compare hotels, map out every detail of a 7-day trip, but when it comes to the next 7 years of their existence, they hope things will somehow work out. This is not planning. This is gambling with the most precious asset you possess, your life. Your subconscious mind is the most powerful goal-achieving machine ever created, but it cannot distinguish between what you want and what you fear, between what you desire and what you worry about. It simply takes the thoughts and emotions that dominate your consciousness and goes to work making them your reality. If you do not deliberately program it with a clear, specific, emotionally charged objective, it will be programmed by default with whatever happens to be floating through your mind. Other people's opinions, media messages, random fears, and scattered wishes. Right now, I want you to imagine that you have been given a magic lamp with a genie inside, but this genie comes with a condition. You get only one wish, and that wish must be written down with complete clarity and absolute specificity. You cannot change it once it is written. You cannot modify it when circumstances shift. This single wish will become the organizing principle around which your entire life revolves. What would you write? This is not a game. This is the most important exercise you will ever complete. Your definite chief aim is not just what you want to achieve. It is who you must become to achieve it. It is the lens through which every decision will be filtered, the magnetic force that will draw to you the people, opportunities, and resources necessary for its fulfillment. But here is what separates those who achieve their definite chief aim from those who merely write it down. You must also clearly define what you intend to give in return. The universe operates on the law of compensation. Nothing worthwhile is ever achieved without an equivalent exchange of value. You cannot get something for nothing, but you can get anything you want if you are willing to pay the price in advance. What skills will you develop? What habits will you cultivate? What sacrifices will you make? What service will you render? Your definite chief aim is not a demand you make upon life. It is a contract you sign with the universe, stating clearly what you will give in exchange for what you desire to receive. Once you have written your definite chief aim with crystal clarity, once you have committed to the price you will pay for its achievement, you must read this statement aloud every morning and every evening. But not like you are reading a grocery list. You must read it with the emotional intensity of a person whose life depends upon its fulfillment, because your life does depend upon it. Feel the emotions you will experience when your aim becomes reality. See yourself already living the life described in your statement. Express sincere gratitude as if your desire has already been fulfilled. This daily ritual is not positive thinking, it is subconscious programming. You are installing new software in the most sophisticated computer ever created, your own mind. When you repeat your definite chief aim with burning desire and unwavering faith, something extraordinary begins to happen. Your subconscious mind accepts this new programming and begins aligning every thought, every action, every impulse toward its achievement. You start noticing opportunities that were always there but invisible to your unfocused consciousness. You begin attracting people who can help you achieve your goal. You develop an inner guidance system that steers you automatically toward right decisions and away from distractions. The ship of your life finally has a destination. Your compass points toward true north. Every storm you encounter becomes an opportunity to test your commitment. Every obstacle becomes a chance to grow stronger. Every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. But you must begin today. Not tomorrow when you have more time. Not next week when things settle down. Not next month when you have figured out all the details. Today, right now. Take a piece of paper and write down your definite chief aim. Be specific. Be bold. Be emotional. Then read it aloud with all the passion and conviction you can muster. Your new life begins the moment you put pen to paper. The question is, what will you write? Number 4, the mastermind principle. You have been trying to climb the mountain of success alone, carrying the weight of your dreams on your shoulders, wondering why progress feels so difficult, so slow, so exhausting. You pride yourself on independence, on not needing anyone, on being self-made. But this very pride has become the invisible wall between you and the life you desire. No great achievement in human history has ever been accomplished in isolation. The most successful people who have ever lived understood a secret that remains hidden from the majority of humanity. They discovered that when 2 or more minds come together in a spirit of perfect harmony, working toward a common definite purpose, they create a third mind, a mastermind, that possesses wisdom, knowledge, and power far beyond the sum of its individual parts. This is not cooperation, as most people understand it. This is not merely working together or helping each other when convenient. This is the fusion of minds, the blending of mental energies, the creation of a spiritual and intellectual alliance so powerful that it seems to tap into infinite intelligence itself. Think of it this way. A single drop of water has little power, but when millions of drops unite, they become a mighty river that can carve canyons through solid rock. Your individual mind, no matter how brilliant, is limited by your personal experiences, your finite knowledge, your singular perspective. But when you alliance your mind with others in perfect harmony, you multiply your mental power exponentially. Henry Ford understood this principle when he surrounded himself with men whose minds complemented his own vision. Ford himself had little formal education and could barely read or write, yet he revolutionized the industrial world. When critics attacked him for his lack of knowledge, Ford famously replied that he had no need to clutter his mind with trivial information when he could surround himself with experts in every field who could provide whatever knowledge he needed within minutes. Ford's mastermind alliance included his wife Clara, whose steady faith and emotional support provided the foundation for his boldest ventures. When the entire automobile industry told him the Model T was obsolete, when banks refused to finance his dreams, when experts declared his ideas impossible, Clara Ford remained his unwavering ally. Her mind, united with his in perfect harmony, created a force that obstacles could not penetrate. But the power of the master mind extends far beyond business success. Kate Smith discovered this truth when she was struggling as an unknown singer, facing rejection after rejection, her dreams of stardom seeming impossible. Then she met Ted Collins, and together they formed a mastermind alliance that transformed both their lives. Collins believed in Smith's talent with absolute conviction, and Smith trusted Collins' business wisdom completely. Neither could have achieved alone what they accomplished together. Their alliance created opportunities that seemed to materialize from thin air, opened doors that had been sealed shut, and elevated Kate Smith to heights she never could have reached in isolation. The founding fathers of America demonstrated the mastermind principle on a scale that changed the course of human history. Washington, Jefferson, Franklin, Adams, and the others brought together their diverse talents, knowledge, and perspectives in service of a shared vision of freedom. No single man among them possessed all the qualities necessary to birth a nation, but their united minds created a force that overthrew the most powerful empire on earth. Here is the secret that most people miss. The mastermind principle works not just through the conscious exchange of ideas and resources, but through the release of spiritual forces that defy logical explanation. When minds unite in true harmony, they become antennae that can tune into frequencies of infinite intelligence, receiving insights, inspirations, and solutions that no individual mind could access alone. You become more than yourself when you alliance with others who share your burning desire for achievement. Your weaknesses are covered by their strengths. Your limitations are expanded by their knowledge. Your vision is sharpened by their perspective. Your faith is strengthened by their belief in your shared purpose. But beware, the mastermind alliance must be built on complete harmony, mutual respect, and absolute commitment to the common goal. Discord, jealousy, or hidden agendas will destroy the spiritual connection that makes this principle work. You cannot fake harmony. You cannot pretend cooperation. The mastermind operates on the highest frequencies of human consciousness and will function only when all parties are genuinely committed to the success of the whole. Look around your life right now. Who shares your vision? Who believes in your dreams as passionately as you do? Who possesses skills, knowledge, or resources that complement your own? These are the people with whom you can form your mastermind alliance. Remember, you do not need many allies. Even two minds united in perfect harmony can accomplish what would be impossible for either one alone. The key is quality, not quantity. One person who truly believes in your success and is willing to contribute their mental energy toward your shared goal is worth more than 100 casual supporters. Your mastermind alliance will become the foundation upon which your greatest achievements are built. Choose your allies wisely. Nurture these relationships with the same care you would give to precious treasure, and prepare to accomplish things that will astonish even yourself. The mountain you have been trying to climb alone just became conquerable. Your mastermind alliance is the rope that will carry you to the summit. Number 5, the habit of going the extra mile. You drag yourself to work each morning, doing just enough to avoid getting fired, watching the clock like a prisoner, counting days until parole. You give exactly what you are paid to give, nothing more, nothing less, then wonder why opportunities pass you by like cars on a highway while you stand still at the side of the road. You have become infected with the mediocrity virus that has turned millions of potentially great people into walking monuments to unfulfilled potential. Every day, you witness the tragic comedy of people who believe they deserve more while consistently giving less. They demand higher salaries while delivering minimum effort. They complain about lack of recognition while contributing nothing worth recognizing. They dream of advancement while making themselves indispensable to no one. This is not the path to greatness. This is the highway to nowhere. But there exists a secret principle that separates those who rise to positions of leadership, wealth, and influence from those who remain forever in the ranks of the followers. It is not talent, though talent helps. It is not luck, though luck seems to follow certain people. It is not education, though knowledge has value. It is the simple but profound habit of consistently going the extra mile. Going the extra mile means doing more and better than what is expected of you, and doing it with a cheerful, positive attitude that makes others grateful for your existence. It means becoming the person who can always be counted on, the one who delivers excellence when others deliver adequacy, the individual who solves problems while others create them. This principle operates on cosmic laws that most people never understand. When you consistently give more than you are paid for, you set in motion forces that ensure you will eventually be paid more than you give. The universe keeps perfect books, and every extra effort, every additional hour, every superior performance is recorded in your favor. The payment may not come immediately, but it will come, and when it does, it will be far greater than the extra effort you invested. I have watched this principle transform ordinary individuals into extraordinary successes throughout my lifetime. Every secretary who worked for me understood that going the extra mile was not just a philosophy, but a practical strategy for advancement. They would arrive early, stay late when needed, anticipate my requirements before I expressed them, and handle responsibilities far beyond their job descriptions. Without exception, every one of these remarkable women received promotions, salary increases, and expanded opportunities. One secretary was so valuable, so indispensable, so consistently excellent in her extra-mile service that I did the only logical thing a wise man could do. I married her. Rosa Lee became not just my wife, but my business partner, my closest advisor, and the perfect example of how going the extra mile creates value so great that it becomes irreplaceable. When you make yourself indispensable through superior service, you also make yourself immune to the economic uncertainties that destroy those who give minimum effort. During times of layoffs and cutbacks, who do you think employers let go first? The ones who do just enough to get by, or the ones who consistently exceed expectations? Your job security is directly proportional to your service value. But the benefits of going the extra mile extend far beyond job security and salary increases. This habit develops your capabilities, sharpens your skills, and builds your confidence in ways that no training program ever could. Every time you stretch beyond what is required, you expand your capacity to handle greater responsibilities. You become stronger, more competent, more valuable, not just to your employer, but to yourself. Going the extra mile also develops leadership qualities that cannot be taught in any classroom. When you consistently demonstrate reliability, initiative, and excellence, others naturally begin to look to you for guidance and direction. Leadership is not a title someone gives you. It is a position you earn through demonstrated value and service. There is a spiritual dimension to this principle that transcends mere career advancement. When you serve others with excellence and enthusiasm, you tap into one of the fundamental laws of the universe, the law of increasing returns. Give and you shall receive, but not in equal measure. Give abundantly, and you shall receive abundantly. Give with joy, and you shall receive with interest compounded. The tragedy is that most people have this law backwards. They want to receive first, then they will consider giving. They demand higher compensation before they improve their performance. They expect recognition before they become recognizable. They seek leadership positions before they demonstrate leadership qualities. This is like trying to harvest a crop before planting seeds. But you can reverse this pattern starting today. In whatever position you currently occupy, whatever responsibilities you currently have, you can begin immediately to exceed expectations. Arrive 15 minutes early. Stay 15 minutes late when your contribution will add value. Look for ways to improve systems, solve problems, and make your workplace more efficient and harmonious. Do not wait for permission to excel. Do not wait for someone to notice your efforts. Do not keep score of your extra efforts expecting immediate rewards. The rewards will come, but they come to those who give without keeping accounts, who serve without demanding recognition, who contribute value as naturally as the sun gives light. Make going the extra mile your trademark, your signature, your automatic response to every opportunity to serve. Let others recognize you as the person who can always be counted on to deliver more than promised, faster than expected, better than required. When going the extra mile becomes your habit, success becomes your destiny. The extra mile is never crowded, and those who travel it consistently find that it leads directly to the rewards they have been seeking all along. Number 6, applied faith. You say you have faith in your dreams, but every morning you wake up looking for evidence that they are coming true. You claim to believe in your potential, but your actions reveal doubt in every hesitant step, every delayed decision, every excuse for not moving forward. You have confused hope with faith, wishing with believing, and this confusion has kept you trapped in a cycle of starting and stopping, advancing and retreating, dreaming and surrendering. True faith, applied faith, is belief that acts without evidence, confidence that moves forward without guarantees, Conviction so absolute that it transforms mere possibility into inevitable reality. Applied faith is not the passive hope that sits waiting for miracles. It is the active force that creates miracles through unwavering expectation and consistent action. Most people treat faith like a spare tire, something to pull out only in emergencies when everything else has failed. They rely on logic, on proof, on the opinions of others, and only when these sources offer no hope do they reluctantly turn to faith as a last resort. This is not applied faith. This is desperation disguised as belief. Applied faith operates on an entirely different frequency. It begins with belief and uses that belief as the foundation for all action. It sees the invisible, believes the incredible, and achieves the impossible because it never questions whether these things can be done. It only asks how they will be done and begins immediately to take the steps necessary for their accomplishment. The power of applied faith lies in its ability to activate forces that remain dormant in the doubtful mind. When you truly believe in the achievement of your goal, when your faith is so complete that failure is not even a consideration, you send out vibrations that attract to you the people, circumstances, and opportunities necessary for success. But here is the crucial distinction that separates applied faith from mere wishful thinking. Applied faith always includes action. You cannot sit in your chair believing you will become wealthy while taking no steps toward building wealth. You cannot lie in bed having faith that you will become healthy while maintaining habits that destroy your body. Faith without works is dead, and dead faith produces dead results. Applied faith means you take bold action in the direction of your dreams even when you cannot see the complete path. You invest in your education before you know how you will pay for it. You start your business before you have all the capital. You propose to the person you love before you know they will say yes. You act with the confidence of someone who knows the outcome is certain, even when logic suggests uncertainty. This is where most people stumble. They want guarantees before they take risks, proof before they invest effort, assurance before they commit resources. But applied faith operates in the exact opposite manner. It provides the guarantee through belief, creates the proof through action, generates the assurance through unwavering conviction. There is also a dark side to faith that few people understand, and this is where many unknowingly sabotage their own success. Faith is neutral. It will work just as powerfully for negative expectations as for positive ones. If you have faith in failure, if you believe deeply that things will go wrong, if you expect disappointment, then your applied faith will efficiently deliver exactly what you believe. Every worry is a prayer for what you do not want. Every fear is faith in reverse, drawing to you the very experiences you hope to avoid. When you consistently expect the worst, when you focus on what could go wrong, when you prepare mentally for failure, you are applying faith just as surely as when you expect success. The difference is in the direction of your expectation. This is why you must guard your thoughts with the vigilance of a sentry protecting a treasure. You must refuse to entertain doubts, fears, and negative expectations with the same firmness you would use to refuse poison. Your faith must be deliberately directed toward what you want, not what you fear. Applied faith also requires a specific technique that transforms belief into physical reality. You must act as if your desired outcome has already been achieved. Give thanks in advance for the success that is coming to you. Make decisions from the mindset of a person who has already accomplished your goal. Speak with the confidence of someone whose victory is certain. When you consistently act from faith rather than from current circumstances, when you make decisions based on where you are going rather than where you are, when you respond to challenges with the calm assurance of someone who knows the ending, you begin to close the gap between your present reality and your intended destiny. Start today by choosing one goal, one dream, one desired outcome that seems impossible from your current position. Apply your faith to this objective by acting with complete conviction that its achievement is not just possible but inevitable. Take the first step, then the second, then the third, allowing your unwavering belief to pull you forward into actions you would never take from doubt. Express gratitude for this goal as if it has already been accomplished. See yourself already living the reality you desire. Feel the emotions you will experience when your faith becomes fact. And then watch as the universe conspires to transform your applied faith into demonstrated truth. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Applied faith is that same substance put into motion, creating the very evidence it believes in, manifesting the reality it envisions, proving through results that belief backed by action is the most powerful force available to human consciousness. Number 7, pleasing personality. You wonder why doors remain closed when you knock, why opportunities slip through your fingers, why people seem reluctant to help you achieve your dreams. You have the knowledge, the skills, perhaps even the talent, but something invisible stands between you and the success you desire. That something is not external. It lives in the way you present yourself to the world, in the energy you radiate, in the personality that either attracts or repels the very people who could change your life. Your personality is your most valuable asset or your greatest liability. It determines whether people want to work with you or avoid you, whether they trust you with opportunities or pass them to someone else, whether they remember you fondly or forget you completely. Yet most people pay more attention to their physical appearance than to the impression their personality makes on others. Every interaction you have is either a deposit into your success account or a withdrawal from it. Every conversation either builds bridges or burns them. Every encounter either creates an ally or generates indifference. Your personality is the invisible force that determines which outcome occurs, and the tragedy is that most people are completely unconscious of the signals they are sending. Andrew Carnegie once paid a man a salary of over $50,000 per year, not for his technical knowledge or business expertise, but purely for the power of his personality. This man could walk into any room and within minutes have everyone eager to cooperate with him. He could turn enemies into friends, transform resistance into enthusiasm, and create harmony where there had been conflict. Carnegie understood that such a personality was worth its weight in gold because it could accomplish what no amount of money or machinery could achieve. A pleasing personality begins with sincerity, but not the weak, passive kind that agrees with everyone to avoid conflict. True sincerity is the courage to be genuinely yourself while being genuinely interested in others. It means speaking your truth with kindness, holding your convictions with humility, and expressing your opinions without attacking those who disagree. Emotional control is the foundation upon which all other personality traits are built. People who explode in anger, who sulk when disappointed, who become sarcastic when frustrated, or who withdraw when challenged, create toxic atmospheres that drive others away. You cannot afford to be an emotional liability in the lives of others if you expect them to be assets in yours. The most magnetic personalities possess flexibility without losing their core principles. They can adapt their communication style to connect with different types of people while remaining true to their fundamental values. They listen more than they speak, ask more questions than they give answers, and show genuine interest in the concerns and dreams of others. But beware of the personality poison that destroys more opportunities than any other single factor: the need to be right. People who constantly correct others, who argue over trivial points, who cannot let a mistake pass without commenting, who always have a better story or a more dramatic experience, create resentment wherever they go. Being right is far less valuable than being liked, and being liked is far less important than being respected. Avoid the common personality pitfalls that mark you as someone to avoid rather than someone to seek out. Sarcasm is the fool's wit, revealing insecurity disguised as humor. Constant complaining broadcasts your victim mentality to everyone within earshot. Giving unsolicited advice positions you as arrogant and presumptuous. Dominating conversations announces that you value your own voice more than anyone else's thoughts. Instead, cultivate the traits that make people grateful for your presence. Express genuine enthusiasm for the successes of others without making it about yourself. Offer encouragement when others face challenges without trying to solve their problems unless asked. Show appreciation for even small kindnesses, making people feel valued and important. Develop the habit of making others feel better about themselves after spending time with you. This is not false flattery or manipulative praise. It is the genuine recognition of the good qualities in others, the acknowledgement of their contributions, the celebration of their progress and achievements. Politeness has become so rare in our modern world that it now stands out like a beacon in the darkness. Simple courtesies, thoughtful gestures, and respectful communication have become revolutionary acts that separate you from the masses who have forgotten that how you treat people is how you treat your own future. Your personality is also reflected in your appearance, not because looks matter most, but because how you present yourself physically communicates how you feel about yourself and how much you value the people you are meeting. When you dress with care, speak with clarity, and carry yourself with confidence, you show respect for yourself and others. Remember that your personality is not fixed. It is not something you were born with that cannot be changed. Every day you have the opportunity to strengthen the traits that serve you and eliminate the habits that hold you back. You can develop patience where you once showed impatience. You can cultivate warmth where you once projected coldness. You can build confidence where you once displayed insecurity. Start today by becoming aware of the energy you bring into every room, every conversation, every interaction. Ask yourself whether people feel better or worse after spending time with you. Notice whether you attract cooperation or create resistance. Pay attention to whether others seek your company or endure it. Your pleasing personality will become the master key that opens doors your knowledge alone never could. It will create opportunities that your skills alone never would. It will build relationships that your achievements alone never will. The world is waiting for someone who combines competence with warmth, confidence with humility, strength with kindness. Let that someone be you. Number 8, self-discipline. You have learned principles that could transform your life, collected strategies that could elevate your circumstances, and discovered truths that could set you free. But without this final element, without this cornerstone that holds all other success principles in place, everything you have learned becomes nothing more than interesting information that changes nothing. You remain exactly where you are, knowing what to do but lacking the inner strength to do it consistently. Self-discipline is the bridge between intention and action, between knowing and doing, between dreaming and achieving. It is the master key that activates every other success principle you will ever learn. Without it, your definite chief aim becomes a wishful thought. Your applied faith becomes empty hope. Your pleasing personality becomes a temporary mask. Your mastermind alliances crumble under the weight of your inconsistency. Every morning you wake up to a battle between two versions of yourself. One version wants to do what is easy, comfortable, familiar. This version seeks immediate gratification, avoids discomfort, and chooses the path of least resistance. The other version knows what must be done to create the life you truly want, even when those actions are difficult, uncomfortable, or require sacrifice. Self-discipline is simply the decision about which version of yourself will win this daily battle. Most people lose this battle before they get out of bed. They hit the snooze button instead of rising early to work on their goals. They check social media instead of reading books that could expand their minds. They eat foods that poison their bodies instead of nourishing themselves properly. They watch television instead of developing skills that could change their futures. Each small defeat in the battle of self-discipline weakens their ability to win the larger war for their destiny. But self-discipline is not punishment. It is not deprivation. It is not the grim determination of someone forcing themselves to do unpleasant things. True self-discipline is the joyful recognition that short-term sacrifice leads to long-term satisfaction, that temporary discomfort creates permanent improvement, that present discipline builds future freedom. Think of self-discipline as an investment account where every act of self-control makes a deposit and every moment of weakness makes a withdrawal. The person with a large discipline account can afford to make bold moves, take calculated risks, and persist through challenges because they have built up reserves of mental strength. The person with a depleted discipline account lives paycheck to paycheck emotionally, always on the verge of giving up when things become difficult. Self-discipline must be developed systematically, starting with small victories that build your confidence in your ability to control yourself. If you cannot discipline yourself to make your bed each morning, how can you expect to discipline yourself to build a business? If you cannot control what you put in your mouth, how can you expect to control what comes out of it? If you cannot manage your time for 1 hour, how can you expect to manage your life for 1 year? Begin with your speech, for your words reveal your thoughts, and your thoughts create your reality. Discipline yourself to speak only words that move you closer to your goals. Eliminate complaining, gossiping, criticizing, and making excuses. Use your speech to encourage others, to express gratitude, to declare your intentions, and to affirm your beliefs in your ability to succeed. Master your thoughts, for they are the raw materials from which your life is constructed. Refuse to entertain thoughts of failure, limitation, or impossibility. When negative thoughts arise, and they will, replace them immediately with thoughts of success, abundance, and achievement. This is not positive thinking. This is mental discipline, the conscious choice to think thoughts that serve your highest good. Control your emotions, for they are the driving force behind all action. Discipline yourself to respond rather than react, to choose your emotional state rather than allowing circumstances to choose it for you. Develop the ability to remain calm in crisis, confident in uncertainty, and optimistic in the face of temporary defeat. Replace destructive habits with constructive ones through the disciplined repetition of new behaviors until they become automatic. Every habit began as a choice repeated until it became unconscious. You have the power to choose new habits that align with your goals and repeat them until they become as natural as breathing. Self-discipline in managing your time is perhaps the most crucial skill you can develop. Time is the one resource that is distributed equally to all people, yet it is used unequally by those who succeed and those who fail. Discipline yourself to invest time in activities that compound in value: reading, learning, planning, building relationships, developing skills, and working toward your definite chief aim. The highest form of self-discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, whether you feel like doing it or not. Your feelings are not facts. Your moods are not marching orders. Your emotions are not excuses. When you develop the discipline to act based on your commitments rather than your feelings, you gain access to a power that weather any storm and overcome any obstacle. Self-discipline also means having the strength to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. It means avoiding activities, people, and environments that pull you away from your purpose. It means being selfish with your time, energy, and attention so you can be generous with your results and contributions. Remember that self-discipline is like a muscle that grows stronger with use. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, every time you do what you committed to do despite not feeling like it, every time you persist when others quit, you build the disciplinary strength that will carry you through any challenge life presents. The disciplined person is not the one who never faces temptation. The disciplined person is the one who faces temptation and chooses their long-term goals over short-term impulses. They understand that freedom comes not from doing whatever they want in the moment, but from creating the life they want through consistent, purposeful action. Your self-discipline will become your greatest ally in the achievement of every dream you hold dear. It will sustain you when motivation fails, guide you when the path is unclear, and strengthen you when obstacles seem insurmountable. The battle for your destiny is won or lost in the small moments when no one is watching, when no one will know the difference, when you have the choice between discipline and indulgence. Choose discipline, and choose it again and again, until it becomes as natural as breathing. Your disciplined life begins now. You now hold in your consciousness the master key that has been passed down through generations of those who understood the true nature of prosperity. This key is not made of metal or carved from stone. It is forged from the disciplined thoughts you choose to think, tempered by the faith you apply to your dreams, and polished by the service you render to others. Every morning when you rise, you stand before an invisible door that leads to the life you were meant to live. Most people walk past this door their entire lives, never realizing it was there, never understanding that they carried the key to open it all along. But you are no longer most people. You have awakened to the power that was always yours to claim. The master key unlocks not just material wealth, but every form of prosperity the human soul can desire. Health flows to the mind that thinks healthy thoughts. Peace settles upon the consciousness that refuses to harbor worry and fear. Love for your work emerges when you align your efforts with your deepest purpose. Financial abundance follows naturally when you provide value that exceeds what you receive. Think of yourself as a gardener who has just discovered the perfect soil, the ideal climate, the exact conditions needed for any seed to flourish beyond imagination. Your mind is that soil. The principles you have learned are the seeds. Your daily application of these truths is the cultivation that transforms potential into reality. Every challenge you face from this moment forward is no longer an obstacle. It is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you possess the master key. Every setback becomes a setup for a greater comeback. Every temporary defeat becomes the foundation for permanent victory. The journey of transformation never truly ends. It deepens, expands, and elevates to heights you cannot yet imagine. If you are ready to continue walking this path of unlimited possibility, to keep discovering new levels of your own potential, then subscribe to this channel and join the community of those who refuse to settle for anything less than the extraordinary life they were born to live. You are no longer the person who began watching this message. You are someone who knows, and knowing changes everything.